Welcome everyone to another episode of Indie Hangout. I am Neumatix. You may know me over on YouTube or over on Twitch if you add an extra X at the end. I am, of course, joined by my amazing co-hosts, Kronos and Maz. What's up, guys?
What's going on, everybody? Kronos here. You can find me over on YouTube and Twitch at OSOK Kronos.
What's going on, guys? Maz from MazTech Gaming. MazTech Gaming over on YouTube.
All right, so we got some news for our listeners right now. We're going to bust it out right now and let you guys know that the next episode, episode 28, is going to be our season finale, which is going to also consist of a special guest. So we would love for you guys to join in on that to end the season off right before all the holidays and everything starts getting crazy. So really looking forward to that. I know all of us are, me, Maz, Kronos, and the special guest, and we're gonna go over a lot. We're gonna jam pack it full of everything we can for that episode to end it off right. But other than that, if you guys didn't know, we have a Discord. And in that Discord, you can go ahead and talk with us and chat with us and all the other community members. You can go ahead and join it by clicking the About section wherever you're listening to this podcast, clicking on the link and joining us over in there. But all right, guys, so today's episode consists of length of games in general, right? So you have AAA games and you have your indie games, you have your AA games, and something funny has been happening where shorter games seem to be just as popular as endless games. And obviously a lot of endless games coming from AAA platforms, but it's these indies that are popping through that are just making their rounds and causing all a stir and making even developers question, do they need to have as much as they do in their game, or can they make it just a fun short experience and make it just as popular and successful? You know, game length itself has always been a hot button issue for a lot of people, right? But it shifted dramatically in the indie space in general. In the early days of indies, back in the 2010s, short games like Braid, if you guys remember Braid, and A Cave Story, they were celebrated for their tight, innovative experiences, often clocking in at only 4 or 6 hours. And they are some of the most remembered indie games. And usually when brought up, people download them and they're just as good today. They still stand the test of time. Now, you fast forward to now, players are split. Some crave bite-sized games amid packed schedules, which I know we could attest to that, all three of us. And others demand value, you know, in hours played. They kind of equate to how many hours played to how much they spent on the game. That's usually influenced by AAA titles like The Witcher 3. There's 50 plus hours in that game and more, you know? Or these endless live service games that we are all used to. So I'll throw it to you guys. Are you more likely to jump into, or do you not care? How about a better way to put it is, do you care about game length when you're looking for possibly a new game to play or a new title coming out that you're excited for?
Well, Neumatix, are you asking if size matters?
I would never. I
was waiting for that one. I was like, who's gonna say it first?
Dude, I was waiting for it.
Well, here's
good
the
old
thing.
Maz.
Yeah, leave it to me to make that one happen. We were all
Right?
thinking it. One of us had to say it first, though.
The door was wide open. You took your chance.
Left it ajar, and I busted through that like the SWAT. But I will tell you, it's all like, I think this goes back to, it ties into a question we were talking about before: value, right? If you play a game like Double Dragon, let's say it's 5, 6 levels, stages, as they were back in the day, you know, it depends on how challenging it is. If it's something you can blow through real quick and you don't feel like you got your money's worth, that's a problem. Does that make sense? I think I like the idea of, you know, new game pluses in the indie game, not the indie game, but the AAA games, where you can kind of play through it again with the gear that you had found in the original playthrough. I really think it depends on how it's crafted. Is it a good story? Is there a good conclusion? I think it's more black and white than just, or more gray than just black and white. They're good or they're not good. I don't know, that's kind of vague, but I hope that answers the question.
Yeah, for sure, dude. How about you, Kronos?
I I would say it to me it matters more on like what type of game you're looking for. Like, if you're looking for something that you can just sit down on like a Sunday or something, hey, I got some free time. Let me play this game, like how like we've talked before, like we got so many games that we play. And it's like, those longer games are nice for when you want something that you can play every day and continuously keep enjoying it. But then every now and then it is nice too to also have one that's like 3 or 4 hours long, maybe a little longer, that you can just sit down in one day, beat and play it and be like, all right, hey, that was really fun.
I would say for me, I mean, I don't know. I probably the same as you guys. I've had the same experience where I've had short games that I was really happy with. I've had short games that I'm like, wow, I wasted my money on that. I've even had endless games that I'm like, wow, why did I spend any money on this? It's like both ways, in terms of entertainment value out of a short or long game. I don't really think it matters when it comes to that point. I think it matters to your experience that you get out of it and how engaging it was and how memorable it was. I could off, top of my head think of games that left a huge impact on me that were only, probably I would say at least 10 hours long, at least some of the games that I've been through. But I'll be honest, when it comes to any games that are coming out or games that I'm looking forward to, I tend to look for the endless games personally. Now, this might be a weird thing where I think that, like when I was playing Final Fantasy Remake, right? I knew there was going to be end to it at some point, which is fine. And it's weird because when I was getting closer to the end, I was just like, oh my God, I just need to get it's almost like I need to get through it. I just want to get to the end. I just want to get the story done with. Like it's great. This is great, but it's almost like I want to get on to something else.
Yeah,
And
like
then I got
wrap it up.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. It's like too long. Some of these games are too long, even if the experience is amazing. And I think that's why with these endless games, like recently I've been playing that I've mentioned it in the last two podcast episodes, Rune Factory, Guardians of Ozuma, and I've been addicted to this game, right? And I've almost like an epiphany in my head. I'm like, it's so weird that these types of games at some point it's going to be it does have a story to it, but when the story ends, the game does not end. It's endless. You can still tend to the fields because it's a part farming simulator, it's a part building simulator, and you can go along that part, right? But it's kind of one of those games like the game ends when you're done with it. That's it. Like it's open ended to that point. Like when you feel you're done, the game's done. And I like that. I do like that because it doesn't mean it's done forever. I could come back 2 years later when they've possibly put in some DLCs, or even if they didn't, and we're like, "You know what? I really like that game. I wanna maybe start a fresh save or, fresh save or whatever, a fresh game, and get back into it." I'm all for that. I love that kinda stuff. So, that's how where I sit with it, and I think there's an overall consensus in recent talks through the gaming community that length doesn't matter and that it's the experience and if it's engaging, right? So you got these short horror games. It broke out many of the longer is better mindset this year. Replayability often trumps raw hours, especially for indies. And if you go over on X, where I go and scroll through constantly, X users echo this. One dev noted players care more about fun in 5 seconds than dev time in 5 years, which,
That's rough, but it's
yeah,
true.
yeah. And honestly, when you think about it, it's like, yeah, yeah, I can see that. I mean, how many games, how many indie dev games have we gone through? And these indie devs have probably spent years making these games, but the fun factor, if it's only like within the first 5 seconds, it's like, okay, that was it, and that's all that mattered. That's rough, man, for someone that spent 5 years of their life on that game. But it is what it is. It's the name of the game, nature of the beast when it comes to it. Others argued indies are traditionally short, especially story-driven ones. So why fight it kind of deal. I don't know. Out of all the indies, I don't know if I would agree with that indies are traditionally short. Maybe I don't know. What would you guys think? Do you think that's like a tried and true thing when we go through indies? I don't really think so. A lot of the indies that we've gone through they're not really short, I would say. I mean, look at Roughing the Riverside or Hollow Knight, even I mean Terraria. I mean, they're not short. They're pretty lengthy and pretty
Yes and
engaging.
no on the roughy one because I mean, I beat it in just a couple hours.
Okay, so I mean, yeah,
Like I
maybe
said,
that was a bad example of my
well, see, like that could be like I said earlier. You know, to me, for like that's it. Like sit down on a Sunday and play it all the way through game.
Yeah,
But it's really fun. I enjoyed Ruffy like nonstop, and it's also like you said. In maybe in a couple months or a year from now, I'll be like, you know what? I want to play that game again and just start a fresh save.
yeah, yeah, that's for sure. I do, man, it's so crazy. Like, you probably think this too, Kronos. Like, you need your, because you're into mobile games quite a bit. So it's like, these short experiences on your phone, but then you have your lengthy, endless games, like, like multiplayer games. You're getting into Battlefield 6 lately, and, it's good to have the best of both worlds.
Yeah, I mean it's been nice. I'll be honest with you. With some of the indie games I have on my computer, and then Battlefield 6 and the new Pokemon game on my Switch, I ain't played a game on my phone in like the last 3 weeks.
Holy cow, dude. Oh,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
I've kind of been
I forgot
been
about
getting away.
Pokemon.
Yeah, that one came out the week after Battlefield, so I got that one too. I'm already completed the Pokédex, so I'm good to go on that one.
Holy crap, dude. Wow.
Released last Friday, and I got 60 hours of playtime in it already.
God.
Oh,
But
dude.
it's that see that's on the Switch, and like we said before, that's that game that I can play in my spare time. Like I'm laying there in bed while we're watching TV, just playing away, like you with Stardew.
Yeah. Yeah, dude.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't want to tell you how many hours I got in Stardew. It's gonna
By the
probably,
way, I know you like Pokemon somewhat. The new game is really fun. I think you would enjoy it.
dude. I literally, not to get off topic here, but I went to Costco and I saw it, and I'm looking at, and I'm seeing the Switch 2, and I'm like, is this gonna be the day? It was not. I did not get it, but
I didn't get the Switch 2 yet. I got it on the original Switch, and I will
oh,
say
okay.
it looks amazing on it still, regardless of what the internet is saying.
That's crazy, man. That's good. I mean, it makes it still worthwhile to keep your Switch 1 around and buying a game like that, man.
Yeah. For granted, this is the last Pokemon game on the original Switch. The next generation that releases next year will be Switch 2 exclusive, so I guess I'll have to buy one before then. Nintendo
Man,
forcing my hand.
right? Damn Nintendo. Dude, I mean, even so, ringing it back in a little bit, even like, not indie, but even like Pokemon, right? That's kind of, well, I don't know. That's kind of a weird one. Is it a game that you're done with it? Like the game's over when you're done with it kind of deal? Because like when I played Pokemon games, it was always when I beat all the gyms, and then the final, oh my gosh, what are they called? The
I'll give you a second. I'll give you a
oh
second.
Jesus, what is it called, dude? In my brain, it doesn't want to pop it out. The plateau crap. What is it? You got to
The,
save me here.
the Elite Four.
Yes. Oh Jesus.
You were right though. It's Indigo Plateau where you fight them. So
Yes. Oh man, I knew it was there. Well, like when I beat them, I'm the champion. The game's over, right? But is it really? No. You could still continue to play and finalize your Pokédex. You could, maybe that's not the end. Maybe getting all the Pokemon in the Pokédex isn't the end for you. Maybe it's leveling out to 100 all your Pokemon. There's different ways to go about it with that game. As I think a lot of indies have taken to heart with that kind of style is either make it endless at that point or making a couple different endpoints that's up to the player of being a completionist. I couldn't imagine. Just side note, guys. I couldn't imagine trying to be a completionist. Like I like in my brain, I want to be. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna get everything in this game, and it's gonna be amazing. And then I get down to it. I think I was playing Hogwarts Legacy. Yeah, yeah, it was that. And my wife, she was trying to 100% it. She wanted a completionist, get everything in the game, right? And I got to up to the point where it was like maybe one or two missions before the end of the game, and I'm like, I'm not doing that. I've already spent like 30 plus hours in this game. I'm not doing anymore. I got to finish this thing out. Otherwise, I will never finish it. That's another thing. I don't know if gamers get into that. If you guys probably have gotten into this where you get to that point where like, no, I'm not finishing it until I get this and this and this and this and this. And then you never get to that point. So you never finish the game. Or is that just a me thing?
Yeah, I kind of feel that way as well. And I feel that. if you don't complete it, sometimes it feels like you didn't finish it. Even if you beat the game, you're like, I'm gonna, and I always have this, I'm gonna go back and finish that. And I
Right.
could say that 10 times out of 10, I've never gone back and finished it. You know, I was thinking about that. I was playing a game on my stream. It was Waffle Cone Willie. uh, it
Jeez.
was it was a game for Shocktober, and I got all the achievements except for one. And I'm like, well, and I'm thinking to myself as I'm ending the stream, like, I'll just go back and finish it offline. Nah, I deleted it. I uninstalled the game. I was done. Yeah, it's
Like that
like,
never
yeah, I'm
happened.
done. Yeah, it doesn't. Yeah,
Oh,
it
he's
doesn't happen. Yeah, it's like you want to though, and I honestly I believe myself when I tell myself I'm going to do it, but then it's like no, it's just easier to say the hell with it and not do it.
You're like
So
it. My past
yeah,
self. What a liar. What a liar
yeah,
that guy is.
exactly. Yeah, it's typical Maz saying this to myself. Larry goes again, but
Oh
I think
man.
it depends, you know, and I think that also going back to what you were saying, I think that the game is kind of over when the story's over, depending on how story heavy the game is. I mean, if the mechanics are good, like I'll give you an example. We talk about like Final Fantasy a lot. If that has good mechanics, that's always good fighting. There's the bestiary to kind of keep you interested in who the different types of enemies you could be fighting, and then on top of that, the game mechanics. But if the game mechanics aren't good, but they're good enough to keep you engaged while you listen to the story, I mean, the game's over once the story's like. There's no reason to play the game again if there's not a lot of variety or the game loop is too small compared to the size of the story. So I really think there's a lot of factors in that, and I think that also drives the length of a game also. And you have to consider bandwidth as well with developers. Your game that you're developing right now, new, might be twice as big and twice as long as it is now if you had a team of people working with you. But you can only do so much by yourself and get it done in an appropriate amount of time to release it. If that makes
Yeah.
sense. So I think that's why going back to that as well. I think that's why you see that typically indie games are shorter most of the time.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. You know, it's funny you say that because and before we get over back to you, Kronos here, but like for indie games in general, like for I was thinking about it today, the point of you making of me when creating my game right now. There's a lot of things that I want to do that I know I'm not going to be able to do. Like it's just going to take way too long and kind of out of my scope for just a one person project. And I got to come to realization with that and keep my scope small. But it's crazy to like today. I mean, just today, I'm playing that Rune Factory game and going through the motions with the different characters and the different so many cutscenes, so much good dialogue. The voiceovers are top notch, dude. Like some of the best I've ever heard in some games. And I'm just like, I'm literally playing through 3 hours in, probably. Okay, by that, probably not three, maybe an hour and a half in. I'll be honest. And I'm just like, how much time this had to have taken to create each and every character's cutscene and story and the voiceovers for every person coming in through the studio. Like, it's just like mind blowing, to create this amazing game. And it's for an indie, just a single person working on their game going, I'm gonna try and make that. There's no way, dude. There's no way. You can try all as you might. And I know we've talked about in past episodes of, these different tools to help indie devs try and get to that caliber, but you're gonna have to sacrifice somewhere, some way, Of course, a lot of it's gonna be probably voiceover. You're not gonna be able to put voiceover in your game unless you are very meticulous about it and you have a bunch of different people that are willing to probably do it for free, or if you had a Kickstarter to help with that, whatever the case may be, like, it's just gonna make that game that much longer to develop and create and make cohesive and be successful on its own. Trying to match up to the caliber of a studio that has 50 plus people, you know?
Absolutely.
so yeah. On the whole completionist thing, I will say that times have changed for me. I used to be, achievement hunter on Xbox 360. Like I was going for every single achievement. But then it was like nowadays achievements and like gamer score and stuff, it doesn't really matter. Nobody sees it anymore. You don't have profiles. Like times have changed to the point where it's like, what's the point in completing all this when it's like I can just beat the campaign, talk to my friends about the game, and be like, carry on my merry way. It's to me, it's lost its passion in a way for completing games 100%.
Yeah, I get that, man. It's definitely maybe it's with time, maybe as we get older, it's just more of the experience than it is the time we spend on it, or just trying to definitely not go for the completionist. And I was the same way. I think a lot of us were back in the day, Xbox 360 days and gamer tag, dude. Next year
Yeah.
gamer tag having that number, and that was like everything. We're like, oh, how many achievement points you got? And,
Like, wait, news got 20,000 gamer score? Like, holy crap. Like it
yeah.
was. But nowadays, it's like, who knows that you completed a game 100%?
Yeah, I know. I know Maz, you really go for that achievement hunting deal, but it can dude, I know from you watching you do the Resident Evil streams, it's like, oh my god, tedious sometimes, like trying to get through all the little because sometimes it takes replaying the game like 20 times for you to be able to get all the achievements, you know?
Yeah, I played through it on stream like 3, maybe 4 times, and one of them, like, because one of them's like beat the game in like under 3 hours, and which fine, easy enough, but that gets tedious. To your point, it's like, oh, okay. I didn't complete it, not completely, because quite honestly, I got burned out on it. I was tired of it.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, you also have to consider as a streamer, a content creator, that people are watching that, and they might, that might not be, you know, there's a limit to people, like, okay, that's enough. I've seen enough. And I have kind of gotten away from um, achievement hunting as a streamer because it's very, very time consuming. And you can also, especially if you're a variety streamer like I am, you're missing out on other opportunities, other games coming out. But you like to, so I don't like go out of my way to get these like super difficult achievements anymore. I'll get achievements if they pop and I celebrate them. Still, I love achievements, but
Yeah.
um, but it's different offline where I have an unlimited amount of time. I've got my own. I did it with like Grounded. Specific games, I'm gonna be like, okay, I'm putting this one. So this one's for me. This one's for John. This one's for Maz, right? And
Right.
so I am really doing the achievement hunting offline for the most part with the games that I don't plan on streaming or covering.
Yeah, I think that in terms of like lengths of games, it probably extended the time I played Halo for those achievements. I mean, besides multiplayer, if I'm just talking about the single player campaign, it definitely extended my time playing that game because of how competitive I was. I'm sure Kronos could attest to this as well, where you're trying to get like whatever
Yep.
you all these crazy achievements like roll off this hill, jump down before you hit the ground, slice the guy with the energy sword, and you get this achievement or some crazy stuff, and it's like you thought you were some badass because you did that. You're like, yeah, I got this achievement. You got your buddies over there. Did you get this? Did you get this? No, I didn't think so. So I think it was definitely more of a thing back in the day than it is nowadays, for sure when it comes to that stuff.
See, that's what I was saying. Like back then, it was more pronounced throughout gaming. Like people could see what you have done. Like you look at somebody's, like we said before, you look at somebody's profile and they had 20,000 gamer score. You look at their Halo 3 and it was like 100% completion. It's like, oh, wait, this guy plays a lot. Like,
Yeah.
it's, or like back to you said with friends, like your friends, like you got Halo 3 had one where you had to get a double kill with a Spartan laser. And you know how hard that was? Because they
Yeah,
had to
dude.
line up perfectly. And there was only certain maps that had the laser, and it had to be during multiplayer. You couldn't do it offline or in the campaign. And it was like when you got that double kill with that laser and all your friends seen it, they're like, "Oh man, I'm still trying to get that one. Like I haven't gotten it yet." And and you got armor for it too back then. That's what also made it nice.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, absolutely, dude. So, I mean, let's break it down a little bit when it comes to I mean, we just talked about it, and based on how we don't have a lot of time of the day to be messing around with games that, aren't gonna be worth our while. So, for, like, short games under 10 hours, for indies, the pros of it, I mean, perfect for busy players like us. It's quick to finish, high completion rates. The cons of that, though, it can feel light, it can feel overpriced, if not replayable, right? So, I mean, we've talked about it too with playing the games that are short and cost anywhere from $15 to $30. If you spent closer to $30 and you finish that game in 5 hours, there's a possibility you might feel cheated. You might feel like, wow, that was a bit much for a game like this. Or if the game was amazing in its storytelling and its gameplay mechanics and everything, you probably won't be saying that, right? But if anything, the pros for these kind of games, it's great for I think gamers like us, content creators. I think in general would benefit the most from these shorter games, unless you're a full time content creator that is just a god at multiplayer games. And then I mean, I guess you would consider multiplayer long term, because they're endless. So that would be for someone like that, right? And then these long plus games, 20 plus hours, the pros you get out of that, which I love. I love Final Fantasy games. I know, Maz, you love Final Fantasy games. And I'm sure from these kind of games, we could attest that these that deep immersion, that deep story, you get that ongoing value out of it from the long games. I think we would be upset if we got a Final Fantasy game that was only 5 hours long, right? I mean, how much can you pack story? Well, you may be able to pack a lot story wise, but I think we would still feel like, wow, this doesn't feel right. And then with these longer games, you can also, a content creator wise, which is really good for guys like us. It builds loyal communities. Look at also segue Fallout. Fallout has built almost cult-like followings based on its loyal communities and the deep immersion you get out of the RPG elements out of the game. And it's endless if you don't finish off the story. Even if you finish off the story, I think, yeah, even in Fallout 4, you can still continue to play that game. And I also wanted to bring this up because Bethesda actually just recently released a bunch of fun stuff for Fallout. They announced, the big, oh, it's been 10 years. Can you imagine, dude? Can you really, like, losing my wording here? Complexity that burst in my brain when I saw it's been 10 years since Fallout Shelter launched. And it
That's
feels like,
crazy.
dude, it feels like it launched like maybe 2 or 3 years ago. 10 years? Oh my
Absolutely
God.
wild.
Dude, and then they also did an update to Fallout 76. They're doing a Fallout 4 Anniversary Edition bundle with 6 official expansions, 150 plus Creation Club items, then that are going to be arriving November 10th. And then they also did a bundle for Fallout New Vegas. It's not a remaster, which a lot of people were wanting, because guess what? The series is coming back out, I think, in November or December, around there. So it kind of makes sense why this is all happening too. But it lines up perfect timing, being the 10-year anniversary of, Fallout Shelter and all that. So yeah. So you got game length like that leading into games that are made like that receive this cult-like following, that have people, gunning for these big releases even on their 10-year anniversaries. And it seems like the game hasn't really aged. You jump into it and it's like, oh, you feel comfortable with it, right? At least that's the way I feel. I don't know about you guys. I know Chronos, I can't remember. We probably asked this a thousand times already, but if you've played a lot of Fallout or not.
Nope.
Yeah,
I
I
love this
figured.
story.
Yep. Short,
Okay.
sweet story.
He played it for 8 minutes.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
he's
yeah.
like, this is all I need to know about Fallout ever. Even though it's a classic game. No, I got killed by something as soon as I left the vault.
It was about 2 hours and 8 minutes because it took 2 hours to get out of the vault.
It's like, this game is trash. Done with it.
Play it
Yeah,
again.
I will eventually. It
All
was just a
right.
bad experience, like I said, because it took me like 2 hours to get out of the vault, and then I finally got out, and I'm like, hey, I'm free. Boom. I'm like, yep,
You can get out in
yep.
10 minutes.
I took the game back to my buddy's house, and I was like, here you go. He's like, you already
Punched him
beat
in the
it? I said,
face
nope.
and
He like asked me, he said, you already beat it? I looked at him, I said, nope. I said, didn't even make it to the first city. I said, here you go.
Oh man.
I mean, it's all good. But,
But hey,
you know, I
everybody
want,
has those games.
yeah, I get the whole anniversary edition, but you know what? Stop going 10 goddamn years between sequels also. You can shove Starfield up your ass, okay? Because it's like kind of feels
Oh
like almost like
man.
we're recouping funds from a failed attempt. I mean, that was an
Yeah.
abortion. It was terrible.
Yeah, you're not
I will
wrong.
tell you right now that people, when they think of Bethesda, they think of two things. They think of Fallout and they think of Elder Scrolls. They might even also think of Doom. They might also think of Wolfenstein. And that's okay. They're not thinking about Starfield. And how many goddamn times is it? Oh, well, I know Skyrim came out in 2011, but here's Special Edition. Here's Super Deluxe Extra Special Edition. Here's Anniversary Edition. Here's Anniversary with Your Mom Edition. Just like, stop.
Yeah.
Make a new goddamn game. Like, why are you wasting your time reskinning and remastering a game that's 10 years old when you could just make a new fucking game? I'm sorry, but this is a huge frustrating point to me right now. I look at this Oblivion shit, okay? And thankfully they didn't like pull their team off of it to get away from Elder Scrolls 6.
Right.
But I'm telling you right now, I'm thinking I'll be dead by the time that game comes out. You know, like I'm not in my 20s. Get it out, right? And if it does come out, it's definitely gonna be my last one ever. Because Christ forbid, you know, I don't see myself making it to my 90s. So, and that's probably when 7's gonna come out. All right, they've got to stop with this stuff. People don't want reskinned games that they've played for the last decade. They want a new game. And when we said 6 years ago, 7 years ago, whenever the hell it was, yeah, there's November 4th of 2018 is when 76 came out. People were like, we want a multiplayer game. Well, when I said that, I was saying I wanted to play that online with some buddies. 2 to 4 players, 1 to 4 players. I didn't want an MMORPG, but oh no, here it is. Okay. Well, what about Fallout 5? What about it? What do you mean, what about it? What about E3? I don't know if y'all remember E3. E3 is dead.
Yes, I remember E3. I miss E3. I miss E3 so much.
Here's the problem. They announced the Elder Scrolls 6 at E3 in 2018.
Yeah, I remember that, dude. The little snippet, right? In the beginning, or just like the beginning?
At the very, very end.
Oh, no,
you know, I'm sorry.
Yeah. No, I'm sorry. I misworded. I meant like the very beginning of the game, like the intro kind of deal, and then whoosh.
Yeah, just
it
a
was,
little teaser.
Yeah.
100%. Gone. Where? Oh, hold on a second. But first, Starfield. 9 years of developing Starfield. Oh, hold on a second. Let's go ahead and get the special edition of this, that, and the other thing out. Oh, here's an anniversary edition for Skyrim. You remember the game that came out 47 years ago? Here's a reskinned version of that. Get it? These guys need to get their priorities straight.
Hey.
This is a way for them to make a quick buck, and I'm tired of it. I'm putting my foot down with it. I'll probably still end up getting it, but I'm pissed about it.
Dude, how much you want to bet Starfield Anniversary Edition comes out before the next fall?
Now you're just trying to piss me off.
I can relate to Maz so much on this because of what just got announced yesterday.
What's that?
So, 343 Industries, well, now Halo Studios, announced yesterday that coming in 2026, Halo Campaign Evolved. It is a remake of the original game from 2001 done in Unreal Engine 5.
Cut the crap.
We have Halo 1 Anniversary that released in 2012. Like, we already have an anniversary. Redoing it yet again 25 years later. I'm like, so it's been 6 years since Halo Infinite released, no announcement of a new title coming out, and you're giving us Halo Combat Evolved yet again, just fancy graphics. I'm still going to buy it and I'm still going to play it, but I'm going to bitch about it.
Well,
Grudgingly, yes.
we're suckers for it, but we'll get it.
Cuz I will hands down say it is a beautiful looking game. But come out with something new already, damn it.
Yeah, for real. Seriously, that's what bothers me. It's like, stop going back to the well. If you want to go back to the well, that's fine. Just use a different bucket this time.
Yeah.
Like,
well, just like I was gonna say, just like what was the game that Shadow dropped it like was huge? Oblivion?
Yeah, Oblivion.
Like, I haven't played it. I don't know what it looks like. Have either of you played it?
I think Mass played it a little bit.
I played it, yeah.
Did they do justice for like a good remake? Like, did it have nice graphics and stuff?
I mean, it was all right, but like Oblivion was never my cup of tea anyway.
Yeah.
Compared to the other ones, I loved Morrowind and I loved Skyrim, but Oblivion didn't really hit right for me. I don't know why, but yeah. I mean, it was like it was back when it came out in, I think, 2004, when they did the remake this past April. This past April or May. It was just there, quite honestly.
See, I didn't know. I couldn't remember if you were like a big fan of it, because I was like, well, it's probably one of the ones like that, like where the game looked amazing, but it's like it's just the same game again, like
Fresh coat of paint.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why it's crazy that it seems like people are hammering for a remake or remaster, whatever the hell you want to call it, for Fallout New Vegas, which is fine. I would actually like that, because when you play Fallout New Vegas now, you almost have to mod the hell out of it in order for it to be like, like, oh, okay, this feels pretty good now, which is where I've gotten to the point of, yeah, exactly. And I like it. And don't get me wrong, I think that's part of the problem, right? These games, even though it's irritating, like, I'm looking at it, I'm like, oh, that's pretty cool. I think I'll buy that. Just because, like, now it's like I have the funds to go and get those stupid little collectibles. And I think that's too, is like the New Vegas collector's bundle, whatever the hell. It comes with like cool little knickknacks and stuff like that. And I think it looks pretty cool. So I'm like, all right, I'll probably get that. Even though I'll never pop the disc out and actually play it. I'm going to play it on my computer. As dumb as that may seem, but I think it's cool for that, but at your point too, it's also frustrating, because it's like, god damn, just come out with a new game already. Unless it is to a point that they need the funds to keep the freaking studio going, so they do this in order to keep funding their project. Like, if that's the case, I don't know. I think people will still be up in arms of like if they're okay with or not. Like, okay, well, if you're gonna release this and it's gonna help get the other one out faster, then fine. But at least give us an update. I mean, dear God,
Yes.
2018. It's 20. This is gonna be 2026. Jeez, come on. Where is it? Where is the next Elder Scrolls?
100%. And that's the problem right there, is that they wasted their time with that Starfield nonsense. Here's a space game. Oh, we got this other space game out there that's kind of like nobody knows about. And dude, it's friggin' No Man's Sky.
Right.
It's a classic. It's a staple at this point. That is the game to beat when it comes to space exploration. Just go away. Go away.
Cool. Well, now we got that out of our system. I want to bring up one more thing before we end off the episode, fellas. And that is, this is going away from, the main subject here, but I thought it was interesting to bring up. You remember we did we've done quite a few episodes of Smash or Pass. It's been a lot of fun. And there was one that we passed on, I think all three of us, because we looked at it and we're like, come on, really? Arcade game? Get out of here with that, right? It's an indie game. And this indie game is called Ball X Pit. Is rolling. It got over 400,000 copies sold in the first week it released.
That I can't wrap my head around that. Like, why?
Dude, Dude, right? All three of us were like, yeah, there's no way. I mean, come on. Arcade, we were looking at it, we're like, yeah, there's no way that's going to do well. Dude, 400,000 copies. Insane.
So I'm just gonna say it's still a pass for me because referring back to the YouTuber that I always watch that plays a lot of these games, he played it the other day and he called it like a bullet hell. And like, for granted, it did look like it gets pretty crazy, you know, all the upgrades and stuff you got to get.
Yeah.
But I was so bored watching him play that. I'm like, I could not sit there and play this game still.
Right. And it literally is. Ballix picks. It's a brick break. I remember reading this off. It's a brick breaking, ball
Yeah.
fusing, base building, survival, roguelite. Oh, what are you roguelite? Oh man. I mean, yeah. I mean, I don't know what else to say. It's $14.99. $14.99. Let's do 14.99 by the 14,000 or 400,000. A game made almost $6 million gross in the first week.
That's crazy.
Wild.
I just thought I'd bring that up because I thought I saw that on X. I'm like, what? Are you kidding me? It's so funny when we talk about games and we go and do our smash or pass with the indie games coming out. I've come across X and come across these games and I'm like, oh, yeah, we talked about that one. We knew that one was going to do good and whatever. But yeah, and seeing this one, and I'm like, no freaking way, dude. Oh, well,
Wild.
one more to end it off. One more little note I wanted to bring up. And so when I'm scrolling through my feed on whatever social media platform I'm on, I'll just take quick screenshots of it because it's interesting, right? And I think our listeners will find it interesting as well. There's another game that's been all a buzz that outdid Battlefield 6 for I think a week or so of it being out. I don't know if you heard of it, Kronos.
No.
It's called Duck Off. Escape from Duck Off. It's like
Oh,
Oh
yeah. I've
yeah.
heard. Yeah. Yep.
yeah, so like Escape from Tarkov, this someone made Escape from Duck Off and it briefly outgunned Battlefield 6 on Steam for a week. My god, an indie game outdid Battlefield 6. And it's so, I mean, dude, if you go on it too, I'm like, I mean, I understand why people like Escape from Tarkov and just making it this cutesy little, rubber ducky style was super smart of someone to do. It's actually, I mean, I actually looking at it, I'm like, yeah, I wouldn't mind trying it out.
Yeah, I would probably try it just because it looks like it. Like you said, it's just this little cute little duck thing. It's just
Dude, and if it's anything like Escape from Tarkov, which I'm sure it is based on the name and everything, there's no wonder why it's doing as successful as it is. So, but yeah, I mean, Battlefield 6 obviously is outdoing them all. I mean, again, come on. Battlefield 6 is
Escape
just,
from Duck Off hits 1 million sales in under a week.
oh,
So
What
if
the
you
hell's
take
going on with this world?
dude, these
like
games.
right, hold on, let's see what this game goes for. It's on sale right now on Steam. Well, it normally goes for $18. It's on sale for $15.83 right now. So they
think I'm gonna-
made about 15 million
My
in a
God.
week.
Dude, just reskin Tarkov in a cutesy rubber duck style, and you're a millionaire.
It's developed by Team Soda. Team Soda is a video game developer headquartered in China.
Oh, wow. Okay. An overseas developer. I mean, there's a lot of those that we even interviewed on our podcast too. So,
Yeah.
yeah. So there's that, guys. So, you know what? Doesn't matter. Indie dev, AAA dev, you just get the right audience in front of you with the right game mechanics and you'll be all right.
Crazy to think, ain't it?
Yeah. Yeah, if you guys are down to play, I'm down. I'm probably gonna buy it just for funsies. And if not, that's fine. I'll play by myself. But
I
I'm
think
sure
Maz is still waiting on his internet for that.
yeah, Maz is like, nah, I'm gonna pass for now.
Yeah, I'd try it out for sure. Just like this ass internet.
Yeah, I get it for sure, man.
He's like,
at this
nope.
point, at this point, I blame the service provider worse than the internet service I have for dragging their feet.
Oh, for sure.
Oh, could you imagine now fully kitted out, finding all this good gear and trying to get to the extraction to save it, and his internet cuts out?
I can imagine that. This is why I'm
we'd
not
be
doing
getting
this shit. Yeah.
we'd be getting a
Absolutely.
picture on Discord to be a big hole in the middle of his monitor.
1,000%. Actually, but the thing is, it would be the internet service provider, like the CEO, that it would be inside the monitor.
He pulled up a
Smash
picture
right
of
over
him
their
real
head.
quick and just
No, just smash the monitor over their head. That's why it would have a hole in it.
Shoot, man. It's all right. Your internet's
You know,
coming.
touching on this like smash or pass thing, I got to thinking about it, and I was like, I got a feeling we would smash a lot more games if we were all content creators full time, because we would need other stuff to play.
Hell yeah.
Guaranteed.
Absolutely.
Guaranteed. Monday through Sunday, dude.
Right? Like, could you imagine?
Yeah. It'd be like, all right, I played, even if it's like Battlefield 6, all right, I played Battlefield 6 like for 12 plus hours Monday through Wednesday. I need a break. I need something else to just split up
Yeah.
my time on a Thursday. What else am I going to
Escape
play?
from Duck Off.
Escape. Oh, fellas. That's what we're getting into.
We can only dream, right? You know, like wake up in the morning, tell the missus, be like, all right, I'm heading to work. And you just walk down into your studio for like 5 hours.
Man, it'll happen, fellas. It's coming.
One day we'll get there.
And then we'll have even more time to talk about all these fun games with our listeners. Oh, man. All right, guys. Well, that about sums it up for this episode. So, as I stated in the beginning, for anyone who's been listening this long, we are going to be having our final episodes, our finale for season 1 of the Indie Hangout podcast next episode we record. So, you'll hear this next week, and then the fun finale will be the week after. We're going to have a lot of fun. The 4 of us, I should say, should I mention our special guest, or we leave it for fun out there?
It's confirmed, so I'll leave it up to you, man.
All right. Well, since it's confirmed, we got to confirm midway through our episode here. It's the good old Yemi the Ferret. He'll be joining us, the 4 of us, me, Kronos, and Yemi, for the finale. So you don't want to miss that. We'll go ahead and leave some good old little reminders in the Discord as usual. And we look forward to you guys listening in on that. But until then, as you all know, we release episodes every Thursday at 5 a.m. Central Time, 6 a.m. Eastern Time. And until next time, we'll see you at the finale. Bye now.
That's a wrap.
See you later.